Hi, my name's Amy. Today's very short tutorial will be on classic and a version of classic abs on the Pilates reformer. I'm on my balanced body reformer with one heavy or one red spring. You could do this on a medium, that would be a blue on a balanced body. We'll start with kneeling abs facing the back. Knees are right up against the shoulder rest, hands on the railing. Notice I'm starting in a 4-point kneeling with the option of making it a little bit harder by sliding those hands just a little bit farther forward. The goal in this exercise isn't to use the strength of the arms or even the legs, but rather to focus on your lower core, your pelvic floor. I'm going to use my core, not my arms or legs, to pull myself forward, which is already hard. I'm engaging just to be here. This will now be my start and my stop as I use my abs to pull my knees in. And this red feels kind of heavy. I'm not moving very much. May look like I'm using my knees or my arms, but I'm focusing on my core to do this work. I'm going to do just a few, then I'll hold at the farthest point that I can handle and take the tiniest little pulses in. Again, I'm using my core. Might look like my knees are doing the work, but it's really core work. And I'm looking straight down so my neck is long. Then I'm going to bring it all the way in, bring it back to the starting point. Reach the hands forward. You could take child's pose, but I like puppy pose better. Thoracic spine, shoulder stretch. The chest can melt down and rest onto the headrest. Head and neck can lower down. Getting a nice stretch in between. Then once I'm ready to come back up, I'm going to take a slightly different version. The first version I did with a flat back or a neutral spine. Now I'm going to do a C curve, lengthening the tailbone forward, pulling the front ribs in. Shoulders are in protraction. And I'm going to do the same work. I'm going to start with my hands just a little bit farther forward. Again, using my abs to pull myself forward, not the knees, not the arms. And then once I have shoulders over wrists, I'm going to, again, work the abs to do this, which are killer. If you use your knees or your arms, it's a lot easier, but you're losing the joy of this work. So red is pretty heavy, or a heavy spring is pretty heavy. A medium spring is a little bit more enjoyable. Bringing it forward and now just the tiny little pulses. Bring it all the way in to hold. Slowly take it back, controlling the carriage. Again, you could take child's pose, but I like puppy pose. So again, I'll take that in between. Let the chest, head, neck relax. We'll take one more variation here. There's a few variations. I'm going to make mine a little bit lighter because that felt pretty heavy. So I'm going to go to one medium or one blue on my balanced body. I have my foot plate in. Not needed for today, but it's here, so I'm just going to slide it back into place. So on this medium spring, you could actually do the one-legged variation, but we're going to do obliques today. So I start with my 4-point kneeling. And on this one, I'm not going to bring my hands forward, but I am going to take my right hand across in front of my left with both fingertips pointing straight down. Notice how my shoulders are not over either wrist. So to get into the start-stop point, I'm going to use my obliques to pull myself forward. And then again, same idea. I'm using my obliques, my core, not my knees or arms. Again, it may look like I'm using arms, knees, but I'm really trying to initiate all the movement with my core, my obliques. And I'm going to bring it all the way in, hold, and take the tiniest little pulses. Hold it again, and release. I'm going to keep my arms so my right hand can match my left. And again, both fingertips will point straight down. If you have a wooden carriage, you have something to grip onto. This aluminum railing is a little bit different. So my fingertips just point straight down. Again, shoulders are behind the wrist, but I want to get them to be over the wrists. So I'm going to use my left obliques to bring it in. And then again, using obliques more than I'm using my knees. Hands are just here for support. I'm not using my hands to pull me forward. These are super tough, so do whatever amount you can. Then bring it in if you want to add that last little pulsing push. Little pulses. And again, holding it all the way in and slowly releasing. Reach the hands forward. Again, child's pose or puppy pose. And we'll come right into reverse abs. So I'm still on my medium blue. You could go back to your red heavy or stay on the medium. Slide the hips up to the shoulder blocks. They won't stay there, but just to get into it, as you grab your long loops, lying down, your head will not be on your carriage, especially if you have a shorter carriage like I do. Place them over your knees like you're putting on pants. Now notice my hips are a little bit away from my shoulders, the shoulder blocks. I'm going to scooch back a little bit more. Hands can go right underneath the back of the head for support. You're in an ab curl. Knees start in tabletop over hips. Just bend and straighten. So that's the start. And a lighter spring isn't necessarily easier here. Easier on the legs, but not necessarily easier on the core. So this would be one variation. In between variations, we'll take a little pause. Head, neck, shoulders can relax, but you're going to fall into the well a bit. Ab curl up, straighten the legs, and lower and lift with straight legs. Keeping the ab curl. You're almost forced to stay in the ab curl, but the hands are there to support the head and neck. These again work the lower core. Come into your break, and then we'll come up and work our obliques. Lifting up, twisting, left elbow to right knee, stay lifted in the ab curl to the other side. You can keep them just like this, or you start straightening the leg your elbow is not reaching toward. So it's like a bicycle. How many you do is up to what you can handle. I'm going to do just a couple more and take a break. Now that we've placed our loops back onto their pegs, we're going to face forward. I've already put my foot bar down, come into kneeling abs facing forward. So these are all very classic abs. Hands are at the sides of the platform. They could be at the front or flat down. I've switched to a light yellow spring, which is easier than a blue medium. Choose any spring you like or no springs to make it even harder. Feet are right up against the shoulder blocks, starting in a 4-point kneeling tabletop. Push with the knees to come into a half plank. Keep the core engaged so the spine stays fairly lengthened, not rounded or arched. Push into the arms, keeping that long spine. Bring the arms forward, shoulders over wrists. Bring the knees underneath the hips. Again, knees first, then arms. Arms pull you in, knees pull in. Knees push out, arms push out, Superman. Arms pull in, knees pull in. When you're done, you can take a child's pose. You can also lift the hips up, come into a puppy pose, and you can go back and forth between puppy and child's. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the short abdominal oblique tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.